got all the Weverse article magazines this
Okay,
week.
Jimmy needs to chill out.
Okay, first, let's talk about the photos and then we'll talk about the content.
Yeah.
So, photos. Jimin, she, where's your shirt? Also, where is BT21? Hello? Are you guys on a break too? Like, I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah, Jimin's shirt, but also Jin.
I could see his. I can't. I can't. I cannot. I really.
Yeah,
I really can't do this right now.
You remember my reaction to Yoongi's? Like, this man is. He's fully dressed, but he's wearing like some kind of like the same sequin shirt from one of his seesaw performances.
Yeah.
But like,
chapter 2 means no buttons, is what chapter 2 means. That's exactly what that means.
Yes, we knew that was coming.
No, I was.
They've been slowly unbuttoning their shirts.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I mean, Tay on Instagram as well. Like,
that boy just dropped that with no reason. I was like, "Excuse me, sir. This is a Wendy's. Like, I can't. I can't right now. Like, I can't with you right now. You can't just like post that and be like, they'll be fine."
Because like we got the first photo, he was wearing a normal shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then he posted another one.
This is.
And he was not, basically.
I'm not okay.
It's just, okay, can we go back and think about the days where we're just like, oh my god, they see a forehead.
Yeah, forehead was like a big thing, but now we're just taking off our shirts for no reason? Okay, fucking whatever. Rip, I guess. Just die somewhere. I gotta go touch grass. I gotta go outside and like rub my head.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go outside to check some grass or something.
I mean, if this is the thing for chapter 2, I'm very nervous.
I think it was like just announced, and then those articles kept coming out. I was just like,
yeah,
hello.
Yeah,
I think it was their especially like Tay. Like, I think I have the meme on my phone. It's just like part of their list to make ARMY feel better.
I don't know.
Yeah, content. Weverse articles.
Weverse articles. Okay.
Before we absolutely lose our minds.
Right. Okay. So let's start with Namjoon first, since he was the last one to have his. We'll work backwards.
Yep.
So Namjoon, he's just so well spoken, and I think that him talking about the like just his journey through music and what he wants to do next makes so much sense to like the Festa video as well. Like, I think having his article be last like makes a lot of sense in my mind. And he is just so like, I love this idea of like, I don't want to have any regrets. I don't, even though it's scary, like we said, like even though change is like terrifying and scary, I think, you know, having the ability to like look at your life and then be like, I need to reevaluate is such a strong skill to have.
That very few people have.
And I think, you know, Namjoon is just he's just such a special person to like have
so wise.
And this introspection of like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Because, you know, even I feel like the pandemic changed a lot of things for like a lot of people, because we had to literally stop doing our lives and reevaluate what it actually all meant and what we were going to do for the future.
Yeah.
I know I did. Like, that was probably the first time I had stopped since like university to like think about what I wanted to do and like what kind of person I was, and confront those feelings. And I think like his ability to do that is just so special. And I love that he was able to, you know, like be like, I need this break to like figure out who I am as a person and what my voice is going to say later. And I don't want to have any regrets in life. And whether this is a mistake or not is really irrelevant,
Yeah.
because it makes sense to me. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to look
How
at.
do I keep zoning out that back? Sorry, I'm just tired. If I zone out, you can just be like, Jen.
Yeah, like even when he was addressing, because he did do a letter on Weverse about, because as I said in the beginning, watch the Festa video. Do not watch, like, news outlets don't know what they're talking about.
That letter,
he was
broke my heart.
pissed. He was so pissed.
That letter broke my heart.
Me too, because they had said their piece and said it with such honesty and such raw emotion, and it was taken and then it was like used and abused for no reason.
The media just like took one thing and ran with it without.
I think
they didn't watch the whole thing.
No, and I think the thing is they entered our space. They entered a private space that was supposed to be for ARMY and BTS, not anybody else, not solos, not news articles, not anybody else. They came into our space and then just like tainted it with nothing. And so he had to write an article, JK had to go on V Live. Like it was messy. It was messy for no reason. And it didn't need to be like that. You know, it's okay to have an emotional reacting to something.
Because change is scary.
Because change is scary, and
normal.
That's allowed. You're allowed to have whatever reaction you should allow. But, you know, we have to be very careful because the media loves to like be in our shit all the time and take our words out of context without actually like finding where the original source was. But anyway, it relates to the article, but because I think he now has this ability to be honest and truthful with what he's saying, and he's so well spoken about it, even when it's difficult, even when he, you know, doesn't want to.
Yeah.
You know, I just think like in this article he was definitely like some of the most honesty that I've seen from Namjoon. Oh. And not that he's not honest all the time, but like this was like,
it's just like
this was like another level.
It was just like raw honesty.
Yes, yeah. And like I said with the rest of these articles that we'll go through in a second, the Weverse team is so good. These questions were so good, so in depth, did their research, like beautiful.
They're honestly like they're honestly like the best articles you can read, like
pretty much,
not just from BTS, but like the TXT ones, like all of them. Like
they're
what they do
so
is
good.
What like media like what it should be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Should be the baseline.
It should be the baseline. It should be. Everybody should want to be Weverse magazine. Like literally, this is the kind of questions that I want all my artists that I follow like to have with them, because it's just they're so interesting questions. They have really good in-depth ones, and then
they're pertinent and like non-repetitive.
Yeah, and every single article we've gotten new questions, new thoughts, new perspectives, and I love it. It's so good. Okay, so next one was Jimin. Second to last. So I like looked at that photo, I took a deep breath, and then I read the rest of the article. Jimin, I can't even with you with that photo. Anyway. So Jimin is probably the most honest and sincere of the members. Like he is just always so upfront.
He's like
with his feelings,
the sweetest human being.
Yeah.
To walk this earth.
I love, you know, him wanting to try new things, but also just to like improve and be better. You know, it's admirable for somebody to be like, you know, I am good at this, but I want to be better. You know, and we think like as fans, like you're amazing already.
Jimin has always been that way.
He's always been that way, but to want to improve at the top of your game is like an extremely rare thing to have with somebody, because usually when you're at the top, you're like, nothing can touch me, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
And you never want to improve past that. You're like, well, I'm at my peak, I don't need to
Improve, try
improve.
new things is really admirable, because at the end of the day, it shows that you're, what's the word that I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
Words are hard.
Words on a page.
It just proves that you are genuine in your passion and love for what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're just wanting to not be stagnant in one spot. You just want to
Yeah.
keep on going, and it
Which
shows
is,
that it proves that he wants to do it for a long time.
yeah, and it's so interesting too, you know, he wants to develop this more like raw, sexy side, which the interviewer, God bless you for trying to pull that out of him to like figure out what that exactly means, because goddamn.
Roll back the filter. Yes, thank you. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
That performance.
I can't. It's just, it's so
I think
good.
I'm gonna have to go and watch it after this.
I think I might as well. Y'all
Red
want to
or
do
purple though? Which one?
well, purple for me, but that's just my opinion. Both of them are great, but I would say purple. I would say purple.
We are a problem.
Tay was next, so we had, of course, V-Min being one after the other. Tay, I love the way that he thinks about things. He's got such a out of the box way of thinking about, you know, life and about music and about, you know, his journey through
He's
it.
a special and precious Willoughby.
He really is. Like, I love the way he I'm so excited for
very
his
unique way
it's
of
very
thinking.
unique. Like, I'm so excited for his mixtape because it's gonna
Album.
be album. So he says mixtape,
Yeah, I know.
but like, yeah, I'm excited for his album because I think it'll just be so uniquely Tay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna be like anybody else.
Nobody can do what Tay does.
Yeah, I think that's like, I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna be so interesting. The fact that also too he's like been writing a lot and like exploring this like writing
and just
thing. I'm
excited. Like knowing what he can do, like writing wise with Blue and Gray, makes me just like so much more excited to see like what like his solo work will look like.
Yeah, well, and I love the line, if what is it, if we look at me like I'm a tree, then I think you could say I have thousands of branches. And I think that is just
I'm gonna cry.
I think that that's just such a beautiful way of thinking about it, because
I told you how much I love them.
It's like, yeah, like we are all made up of these different parts of us that maybe sometimes we don't get to see, but in this capacity we have this ability to like see them as individuals but also see them as a group together. And I think that's just so special. It's just so special and precious. I love it so much. Next we have, of course, genius producer Min Suga. Min
My baby.
This
guy right here.
That guy right there. I mean, what is there left to say? Like, honestly, the way that he thinks about artistry and the way that he thinks about producing and music is just so like,
at this point I'm just waiting for him to come out with like a polka song or something. Like, he can pull off like literally anything.
I know. It makes me excited to see his future because it's just so vast. And I think like people demanding him to be producing on something is just, it honestly, my army ego is too high. You know what I mean?
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. I don't know what to say. And I love this sentiment of like, I hope they're excited for everything so I can give their life meaning each and every day.
I'm so excited, Jess.
Like,
I love him.
Our boys making us cry.
Look, I love him.
Like, yeah,
I love them.
I love them so much. Yeah,
You know,
love them.
sometimes like you get that aggressive kind of love where you just want to shake the
Yes.
person that you love so much.
Yes.
That's how I feel.
I know. I agree. I agree. There's not much to say about that one. Jungkook. Wow. Wow.
The boy with like 20 mattresses in his apartment.
He got so mad at us for that. He grew up so well, like so well spoken. I think that like um you know, the members really influenced him in becoming
Oh
like
yeah, I
the
mean they
man that we
shaped him a lot.
a lot. And it's beautiful to see his like passion, his constant need to improve himself, to be better, to be, I don't want to say perfect because that's not what it is. It's like a self-improvement. Like he's
It's just like wanting to
constantly
work on
working.
yourself like as much as
Yeah,
you can.
yeah. And I understand this like mentality of like not wanting to let go of things because they don't seem ready or they're not like
Yeah.
perfect yet. And I'm really glad he said like Yoongi was like, you just gotta release it. Like
Yeah.
you just gotta
I
release
mean,
it
Yoongi is
and
very much like that with the amount of like songs that he writes.
right, yeah, and like
Just like you just
again,
gotta do it. You
yeah,
just
like
gotta do it.
as a creator myself, like it's so hard to let go of things and you're like, I know that this can be better. I know that this can be perfect, but you could spend like 10 hours doing something like fixing one thing and it still won't be perfect.
But also like there's also like this whole thing like there's no point in working on it like nonstop. Like it's important to take breaks in between because you'll come back
Yeah.
and see it in new light. That's like
Yeah.
one of the valuable things that we learn in translation. Like there's no point in you continuing to like revise or translate nonstop because the mistake, like the grammar mistake or whatever mistake that you made, you won't be able to see them
Yeah.
because you've been staring at this text for so long.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like that in like any creative field or like creating field where it's just like if you keep staring at it or listening to it, like you won't see, like you'll know something is wrong, but you won't be able to put your like your finger on it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's hard letting go, but I think letting go is like it's a thing you got to do in order to, you know,
It helps with
see.
self-improvement too.
It does, yeah, because then you can get feedback and see. Like, honestly, I don't think Army will be helpful with feedback because we
No, we
really
just
love
love
everything.
everything.
Yeah, but I think that you know it's still a self improvement thing of like I was able to do this. Now, how do I be better? Like,
Yeah.
what can I take? What lessons can I take from
Over
this?
time it shows like how much you've progressed too,
Oh
which is
yeah,
always so cool to like see.
me too. Like I'm thinking about like the first time I heard his vocals and to now, it's like night and
The
day.
improvement
Like it's
is
crazy. It's literally crazy.
like just like Pretty Woman when they were like performing it like younger versus like in
Yeah.
the recent days, like it's
Yeah.
like from all of them, like Jungkook, chef's kiss, like
Oh, it's
his
so good.
vocals, like he's worked on that so hard
So hard. Yeah.
and it shows.
It shows so much and I can't wait to see like I can't wait to see what's going to happen next with his music. Because he did say he wanted to release his album after Yoongi's album, which I find
Mhm.
interesting the order to all of that.
That's it.
It's going to be
So
exciting.
some people are like, oh, Yoongi's gonna release his in August because Augusty, and I'm like, please stop.
Mm, Yoongi's gonna release it whatever he damn well pleases.
I know. I like the speculation
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
but
I
like
like we know that Hobie is
Hobie,
coming first, obviously,
yeah,
and then I think Yoongi will be next.
Hobie should be like coming pretty soon, considering like
God, I hope
that,
so.
yeah, because of the festival.
Yeah. So I think it'll be Hobie, Yoongi, JK if he said he's gonna release it after, and then Namjoon will be next. I think Tae might be after that, and then Jimin and Jin said he would be last. So
yeah,
I think that's a pretty good speculative order,
yeah.
as it were. Next article is Jin, Kim Sok Jin, Worldwide Handsome.
Button your shirt, my guy.
I was scream. Let's not talk about it. I was screaming though. I was having
I
a
know you were. I
time.
know you were. I know you.
I was having a time. But you know what I love? Jin has always had this way of being like, if I want to take a break, I'm gonna take a break. If I'm gonna play
Oh,
video
his
games all
mentality is
day,
so good.
I'm gonna play video games and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. That's like the thing that gets me hung up sometimes is like, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough, you know, like, oh, I took this break, but did I actually deserve it? Like,
Yeah.
all of these kind of things like flow through my head. And I think his way of like, do the things that you want to do without feeling guilty about it, because like realistically you only got this one life, so you might as well enjoy it and do things that you want to do. And I love how he, you know, balances this idea of like work and play, and has these like playful moments where he's like, I'm just gonna like play video games, or I'm just gonna like read or do this other thing.
This guy literally ate like played video games for 4 days straight and ate 2 meals.
That's the dream right there.
And
I don't know.
he's eat gin and he barely I mean, to be fair, I barely ate today too, so I shouldn't talk about it.
Same, it's fine. But I love that attitude, because it makes, you know, it makes it seem like it's okay to like live your life instead of like
Yeah.
working to live your life, you know what I mean? And of course, like
In the same sense, it's
I
like
love that.
Yoongi is like, just release it. Jin is just like,
Yeah.
just do it.
Just do it. Like,
yeah.
The worst that'll happen, you know, is that, yeah, like if I want to go home, if I want to eat, I'll eat. If I want to stay in bed, I'll stay in bed. Like, I love how that mentality has carried him through. Like, even at the beginning too, he's very much like that, because, you know, in the group he's the eldest, right? Like he sets the example for the rest of them, and to be like, it's okay, like you can take a break, you can do what you
And
want.
especially in like in a group that's so hardworking, you need that at least one person that's gonna be like, hey, you need to take that break.
Yeah.
And you need to not feel guilty about it.
Yes, yeah. I think for me it's the guilt thing that I get hung up on, but I'm trying to be better at that.
You've been working on it.
We're working on it.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly. And then last but definitely not least, well, actually first, I guess, Weverse. But no, it's fine.
Yeah. Hopey.
J Hope. I was thinking about this when I read Hobie's article at first. I love getting this like new side of them. Like, I feel like I'm learning new things about them throughout these like articles. And J Hope has always been like the sort of, like, we call him like the sunshine, obviously, because he is this like sunny, he has this like sunny disposition that he always puts on for people.
Yeah.
But it was interesting in his article to talk about, you know, the times that he doesn't feel like that, or the times that he isn't that way, and how he always tries to be that way, but sometimes it just doesn't, like,
it can't work all the time, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's that balance of like the toxic positivity thing, where it's like you don't want to be overly positive, because then, you know, it becomes this like crutch of things where you're like, I gotta be positive.
It becomes bad for you too.
It does, yeah,
because you like, don't allow yourself to feel those like negative emotions that you need to be able to feel and go through.
Yeah. So I'm so glad we got to like see that in the article, that he's like, yeah, like sometimes I just don't feel happy, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to have those emotions and those feelings. And, you know, he's always like, I feel like Namjoon and Yoongi are very much like, you know, those producing
machines.
Those producing machines, really. But Hobie has always been this like free floating kind of person that like does the producing, does the writing, does like the dance
Hobie
captain,
does whatever
like,
he wants.
Yeah, and
I'm just gonna say it that way.
Yeah, like I love that about him though, because he's just so able to like float between all of these things, but still have passion for all of them at the same time.
Yeah,
it's impressive, honestly.
Very impressive.
Like, yeah. And I love how they also talked about, you know, like as a whole. They talked about Chris being like this like beacon, you know, like he came to Korea, he like knew them, he knows about TXT and Hyphen for some reason. Like that I found really
The
funny.
babies.
The babies. I think he literally said to June, he was like, "Is that a guy from Hyphen?" And he was like, "Yeah, how did you know that?" It's so weird.
We stand Chris Martin in this household.
Really do. We really do. We love Coldplay. And I love how they, you know, Coldplay is like a really good example because Chris takes breaks all of the time. Him and his band, they always take breaks. And
I mean, it's the healthy way of staying in an industry for so long.
I mean, look at Coldplay. I'm just saying. And how many albums have they put out since, you know, they've been a band? Like, they don't have that many. Well, they actually don't have that many albums comparatively to how long they've been a band together.
I mean, Simple Plan is kind of the same.
Yeah.
When you think about it, they've been around for so long.
So true. They've been around for like ever.
Forever.
But I would really encourage you to go and read these
Watch
articles,
the Festa dinner, read the articles.
because it's important to hear about these things from the boys themselves, because they're the ones who are saying it. And they said in the Festa video, trust us and us only. So as much as we love you guys watching our videos and stuff, you know, like our opinions ultimately don't matter.
They don't matter.
And I tried not to put any of my I actually don't have any opinions on the Festa dinner, like one way or another, because it's not about me and my opinions, it's about them and their choices, and whatever it is I'm gonna support, so it doesn't matter.
Because like what we like we said like at the beginning, like if you're feeling sad, it's okay.
Yeah, of course it is.
Like
you're allowed to feel sad.
I was sad at the beginning.
Can hold multiple emotions at the same time.
Like the day, like I'm fine now, but the day that the Festa dinner came out, I was having a bad day. Like I was really sad, and I mean, I have some friends that like this is literally their first comeback.
Yeah, and
they feel guilty that they haven't been like an ARMY for longer, and I'm like,
don't feel guilty.
It's not finished.
No,
like they've said they're coming back. This is just like the end of one chapter.
It's the end of chapter
one. And I feel kind of the same. Like I don't feel guilty. I feel sad because I wish I was with them in that first chapter for longer. But it's just like you just gotta go through those emotions, because like now I'm fine. Yeah. And ultimately, like even when I was sad, I was happy for them. Because this is something that they need and something that they need to do for themselves, which is very important. But go through those emotions. They're valid. They're okay.
I think you can feel sad for yourself and happy for somebody else at the same time. Like you can hold two emotions at the same time.
Like at the end of the day, it's just like respecting their decision.
And supporting them as together. They're still OT7. We are still OT7
in
this household.
1000%. It's
no solos.
Never gonna change. No.
No.